I'm about to make my first GTA 6 video. Mr. Boss for the win? No, this shit's legit! What's going on, guys? Psycho Killer here. And, yeah, you heard right. Grand Theft Auto 6. Rockstar Games has broke their silence about Grand Theft Auto 6 and its development. And they said some other things about Expanded Enhanced. But we're going to cover all that in this video. So, hit it.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So in a Newswire post today, entitled Grand Theft Auto Community Update, Rockstar Games has this to say, and we'll break it down as we go. As the GTA Online community continues to grow stronger with each passing year, well, I would say bigger, maybe not stronger, we would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for playing with us across 2021, whether through the high-speed thrills of Los Santos tuners, chasing down Dr. Dre's lost tracks on the contract, or just causing havoc in free mode like a bunch of little PP idiots. As we enter our third console generation, and with much more to come in 2022 and beyond, here's a look at just some of what's on the way. The contract, shortcuts to short trips, and more. The contract brought GTA 5's story into present-day GTA Online as players helped Franklin Clinton set up his celebrity solutions agency and track down hip-hop mogul Dr. Dre's lost, unreleased music, along with an array of new gameplay, including security contracts, payphone hits, and the ability to step into the shoes of Franklin and Lamar for the short trips co-op story missions. So for those of you that haven't played the contract yet, basically what it's done is taken Franklin from where he left off in the story mode and projected him into the future. He's old, the dog's old, Lamar's still a dumbass. And you play through the contract where you got to get Dr. Dre's phone, which he lost in the Cayo Perico update, yada yada. Most of us know about that, so let's move on. To ensure everyone can easily experience the fun of short trips, players will soon be able to access short trips directly from the jobs menu without completing the contract story missions. And look for official versions of Dr. Dre's tracks from the contract hitting your favorite music streaming service today. Again, not much to say about that other than they're adding short trips to the jobs menu, and you will no longer have to complete the story mission to access them. And in addition to that, the tracks that Dr. Dre made specifically for Grand Theft Auto Online will be available on Amazon Music, iTunes, and Spotify as long as he doesn't have a problem with Joe Rogan. Moving on, a new generation for Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. With the GTA 5 community stronger than ever, the Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online will come to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S platforms this coming March 15th. So we have a release date of March 15th, bringing the blockbuster open world experience to players on the latest hardware. We sincerely appreciate the entire community's support over the years as the game now heads into an unprecedented third console generation. It's kind of hard not to support it because, as John has said many times, Rockstar Games just introduced crack into the community and we just can't quit it. Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S features new graphics modes with up to 4K resolution, up to 60 frames per second, texture and draw distance upgrades, HDR options, and ray tracing, as well as offering the technical advances of the latest console generation with faster loading times, immersive 3D audio, platform-specific features like advanced haptic feedback, and much more. So for veteran players of Grand Theft Auto Online, basically what that means is it's the same old game with a retread. It's a new paint job, just like the definitive edition of the trilogy. If you're expecting a whole lot of content with the expanded and enhanced version, don't get your hopes too high. I would also like to point out the fact that they're no longer calling it the expanded and enhanced version in the Newswire post. They're just calling it Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online for the next generation consoles, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. So to me, that tells me not to expect too much as far as advancements in gameplay goes or anything like that. It's just going to be a reskin, I believe. But hopefully I'm wrong. We'll find out March 15th when it drops, and you know you will be able to find that content right here on this channel, just make sure you subscribe, your notifications are on, ring that bell, all that stuff. But let's get back to the Newswire. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One players eager to continue their journey on their newest generation of hardware will be able to transfer both their Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode progress and their current GTA Online characters and progression to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S with a one-time migration at launch. And although it doesn't say it in the Newswire, you're only going to be able to progress from the previous platform to the current platform in the same company. So if you're going from PlayStation 4, you can only port it to PlayStation 5. If you're going from Xbox One, you can only port it to Series X or S. No cross-platforming there. Plus, a new standalone version of Grand Theft Auto Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S will debut at launch, available for free for the first 3 months for PlayStation 5 players, making it easier than ever before for new players to experience everything Grand Theft Auto Online has to offer. So, as much as a lot of us were afraid that it wasn't going to be free for PlayStation 5 players, it is still going to be free, even though it's no longer available in November. And it's still for the first 3 months. So improvements to Grand Theft Auto Online. GTA Online for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series also includes a range of improvements, including the ability to skip the Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode, which would come in handy if you're having the standalone version, no longer having to do the prologue before entering online. And an all-new Grand Theft Auto Online tutorial. That would have been nice to have 10 years ago. New Grand Theft Auto New Grand Theft Auto Online players will now enter the Career Builder with an instant access to their choice of one of 4 illicit businesses: biker, executive, nightclub owner, or gun runner. That would have been nice to have as well. And a sizable Grand Theft Auto money windfall to help select a property, high-end vehicle, and the firepower required to kickstart their enterprise. So, I give it a little bit of shit because this wasn't available to us when we first started playing, those of us that are veterans. But the community of Grand Theft Auto Online, like the other players, have evolved so much over the last 10 years that when people start fresh now, it's almost unfair for them because everybody else has a leg up on the competition. But with them giving a little bit of money to start with, a free business and whatnot, they're able to get a leg up and be competitive to start with. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions of Grand Theft Auto Online also include a new House Special Works Auto Shop located within the LS car meet, which will allow players to upgrade and select vehicles, 5 new vehicles and 5 existing vehicles at launch. For elite driving performance that takes full advantage of the upgraded power of the new console hardware. What's next? Guys, this is what we have been waiting for. Finally, what Mr. Boss for the Win has been training for the last 10 years. Finally, when he says this, it's no longer clickbait, although I'm sure he'll speculate and make up more shit that doesn't exist. With the unprecedented longevity of Grand Theft Auto 5, we know many of you have been asking us about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project we embark on, our goal is to always significantly move beyond what we have previously delivered, and we are pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in Grand Theft Auto series is well underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our team, we thank you for your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you. Rockstar Games. That's a lot, dudes. It's one sentence, but apparently this community is able to write their own narrative off of one sentence or a paragraph. You know who you are. Yo, so check it out. We know how Rockstar Games operates. They're not going to make communication with us unless they're telling us something completely watered down. That being said, the development is well underway, which to me says it's almost done. As much as we don't like to give him credit because he is a notorious clickbaiter in the community, and even if he sees this, which he probably won't, he ain't going to give a shit because people have said this in his comment section. Mr. Boss for the Win has been talking about how Grand Theft Auto 6 has been in the works for all this time, and as much as I don't like to give him credit for that kind of thing, there is a little bit of solitude or the shit's got some base to it. He hasn't been wrong. about that. Just because his videos are long and drawn out and he's talking about the same thing over and over again doesn't mean that there's not some facts to be found in what he's saying. It has been in development. Everybody's known it, but we don't talk about it because we don't want to get our hopes up. We don't want to get our audience's hopes up, and we don't want to be labeled as clickbaiters because, let's be honest, at the end of the day, what are we remembered for? What we say that's true, and the Grand Theft Auto community itself wants things right now. So we're not going to talk about what's coming years in advance as a community as a whole, but now that this has been brought up by Rockstar and they broke the silence, we can say that it has been underway for a little while. He is right about that. Rockstar's not the kind of company to say that something is what it is. They're more likely to say it's well underway when really it's almost done. They're likely to say we're about to start development when it's past the first stages and already having been developed for a little while. So with Rockstar Games saying that it's well underway, you can mark my word, take it to the bank, do what you want to do with it, clip me and come back to it later if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But I would say with them saying that it's almost done. So I expect a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 sometime this year. And I expect the release date to be somewhere towards the end of next year to the middle of 2024. So end of 23, middle of 24, maybe end of 24, based on the way Rockstar Games operates and the timelines, you know, going back to Red Dead Redemption 2 when they announced it versus when it came out. I would say a good bet would be by the end of the year for a trailer, maybe even mid-year, but probably not till the end of the year for a trailer. And then another 12 months after that, we will be pre-ordering Grand Theft Auto 6. But yeah, there you have it, folks. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been mentioned by Rockstar Games. They didn't say Grand Theft Auto 6. They said the next installment. Take with that as you will. You know, some people call it Project Americas. I don't know what it's going to be called, if it's going to be called Grand Theft Auto 6, where it's going to be. I'm not going to speculate on that. I have no solid proof to go off of. All I have is Rockstar Games in the past, what they've done, how they've done things, and what they've given us today. So, long video. Hopefully it was full of information and not me harping the same thing over and over again. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you mad about Expanded and Enhanced just being a new skin? Or are you happy about that? Or are you able to look past that completely to Grand Theft Auto 6 being talked about by Rockstar Games? I mean, it's real now. It's not just this fabricated lie or hopeful thing that we all want, but we now know it's actually a thing. The only thing I would say, if anybody from Rockstar happens to be watching this video, guys, take your time. I want Grand Theft Auto 6 right now, but I would rather wait for a full product. We don't want Cyberpunk happening all over again. So take your time. Make the game great, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you on the flip side. Hopefully, anyway.